Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're having a great day or night or whatever it is wherever you are. I've got something really special for you today that we've never done on this channel, and I'm super excited about it, and there's a couple bonuses that come with it. So let's get right into it. I'm going to teach you some card magic, a trick that's old, but I put a new spin on it with my variation. It's called the Big Top Flop. It's based off of the circus card trick that you can find in Expert Card Technique or the Royal Road to Card Magic or Jack. And if you're not familiar with any of those books, then you should make yourself familiar with those books if you are aspiring to do any card magic. The coolest part about the trick that we're going to do today, my variation of the circus card trick, is that there's an addition from Sean Farquhar, who I contacted, and he's been gracious enough to allow me to teach it to you. It's a card force called the Flop Force that he taught on his Unleashed project with realmagicmagazine.com, and you should check that out as well. But I contacted Sean, and he said that he didn't have any problems with me teaching you this, and it goes perfectly with the trick and the way that I handle it. So I hope you like it. Let's get right into it. Alright, so we'll start out with a deck of cards, and if you were here, I would have you shuffle this deck of cards so that you would know that it is indeed a shuffled deck of cards, and you could do it any way that you like. It would not matter. You could be super messy about it. In fact, that would be encouraged because this whole trick is designed around a little bit of messiness. But anyway, we'll assume that you shuffle those cards and give them back to me. Thank you. And in a second, I'm just going to flop cards out on the table like this, and you say stop whenever you like. These cards won't matter. This will be the card that becomes your card. So just do that. Hope that's pretty clear. Good to go. All right, so we're going to flop cards out. Oop. Just say stop wherever you like. And it could be anywhere in the deck. Right there. That'll be your card. And so these cards, of course, won't matter. You've seen all those, but we haven't seen this one. At this point, you would pick the card up, look at it, remember it. At this point though, since you're not here, I'll show it to you. Hopefully the lights aren't messing that up and you can see it. And then you would then place the card back in this jumbled mess wherever you like. Put it back together. And then you could once again shuffle as thoroughly and fairly as you would like. And you can cut. And you could cut in 3s, 4s, or whatever you like. Doesn't matter at all. And then you give me the deck back, and what I'm gonna do is try to find your card, of course, because it's a card trick. That's what card tricks do. So I'll flop them out, say the magic words: Google, gobble, Google, gobble, one of us, one of us. That's it. I'm willing to bet the next card I turn over is going to be your card. I'm so confident in that bet that I'd be willing to bet a drink or hard cash or whatever. You name the price. Next card I turn over is going to be your card. Will you take that bet? Well, if your card was the 5 of Hearts, then you owe me a drink or something. And that is the Big Top Flop. I hope you liked it. And if you liked it enough that you want to know how it's done, then just hang tight and we'll go through everything. And then you can maybe win a drink of your own. Alright, so here's what you need. A deck of cards. They don't have to be new or old. It doesn't even have to be 52 cards. You just need some cards. So get some cards and you can follow right along. When you start out, you legitimately can have the deck shuffled in any way, and I encourage you to do that. Let them shuffle the deck, you take it back, and then you're going to demonstrate how you're going to select their card. And you just toss some cards out and tell them that you're going to do this, and they say stop whenever they want to. You just instruct them at this point. You need to note that top card. That's your force card, 9 of diamonds. And then you put everything back on top. Give the deck a false cut. The one I used in the performance, I just undercut that bottom packet and drop those back on top. And that's about as in depth as I'll go into that. You give it a tap, then drop, and it's pretty convincing. You may know a better false cut or a different false cut, and that's fine. You can use whatever you like. That one's pretty easy, and it kind of goes with the flow and the feel of the trick. It's not too fancy. So you're back here. You've still got your force card on top. You start spreading the cards over for them to say stop. And as you kind of turn the cards up a little bit and pull the packet off, you're going to do what Sean Farquhar called the worst second deal ever, the sloppiest second deal ever. Anyway, you push this top card back over to this thumb and just retain it and put those down. But as you're doing it, of course, you kind of tilt the deck back. You get a little bit of rhythm going. So you're over like this and just flip kind of to assist. And it just disappears. And it doesn't matter how many cards, can be 2, can be 3, can be whatever. Every time you're just slipping this back, push over, slip back. And you end up with this mess on the table, which is perfect. And you end up with the 9 of diamonds on top of the deck, no matter where they say stop. And that, my friends, is the flop force, and you can thank Sean Farquhar for that. Sean Farquhar is an amazing guy for letting us use this move for this trick. He hasn't even seen the trick. So, Sean, I'm going to send you this video, and I really hope you like this. So, that's the card they stopped you at. We know that's the 9 of diamonds. The rest of these, like you say, don't matter. And you flip those over to make this sloppy, floppy mess. And then they can take and stick that, after they remember it, of course, 9 of diamonds back in there, wherever they like. And then this is all on them, out of your hands, but not today because your hands aren't here. And there we go. They put everything back together. They can cut, they can shuffle. It does not matter because we know what their card is already. But we're playing dumb. We're playing dumb to win a bet. So now you're just going to repeat the same motion. That's why I love this. That's why I used the flop force from Sean for this, because now we can do the circus trick, but not in the same old way. We can get the same effect, but we can do it way faster. The trick flows faster and just plop, plop, plop. It's loose and it's innocent. I'm digressing. So next, you're dropping cards on the table. You got to make sure when you do it this part though, that you get a good spread, at least enough that you can see the indices of the cards, so that you'll actually know when you get to that 9 of diamonds. And I was talking, I don't think yeah, okay. So you're looking for the 9 of diamonds. You just flop all the cards and try to make it so you can see it. Hopefully it's not on the bottom. Okay. Take 2. So if this happens, Basically what you're going to do, if you don't see the 9 of diamonds the whole time it's happening, you get to this bottom. And let me just back up. I'm glad this happened. I wanted to talk about this at the end anyway. So if this happens and the spectator shuffles it to the bottom, you're legitimately left with 1 card. Then just play it. Play it like this. The next card I turn over is going to be your card. It does not have the same impact. It's not the gotcha sucker bet that it was, but it will play that their card that they shuffled their own card to the bottom. Play it. Roll with it. And the flip side of that, since we're here, if for some reason I didn't do this, but I should have, because I'm just kind of going with things and not thinking about everything. But you should always not flop the first card. You should turn the first card over individually, because if that's their card, you got to be prepared to own that. That's a miracle. Just own it. Just be done and take your beer and walk away. Actually, I don't know if you'll get a beer. You should get a beer, but you might not, because you didn't even have a chance to propose the bet. But let me go back to a more realistic situation. This is what's normally going to happen. Card's going to be in there somewhere, about halfway or not, somewhere in there. And you're flopping, and you're flopping. I'm really glad that these little things happen to help me tell you about some things that can happen. So there's the 9 of diamonds. You don't want to cover that up with any other cards. You just want to make a mess at that point and make sure that it's visible and accessible. Just flop for a little bit further. You don't have to go all the way, but you can. Just say, I bet the next card I turn over, and then play it out. This is their card, you know that. This is whatever this is, doesn't matter. At that point, make your bet, play it up, see what you can get out of them. Even if you're just gonna have a laugh at the end, it doesn't matter. You can even buy them a drink, because this is a sucker bet anyway. So, and then flip the card over. Bam. That's the way it normally plays out. That's the way 99% of the time you're gonna do it. But like I said, I am glad that we got to cover the weird occasions that it may end up on the top or bottom of the deck. Because that happens. So, let's see, is there anything else we want to cover? We covered the slipping and making sure that you kind of tilt back. We should also talk about something that Sean taught in his Unleashed video about the flop force. Don't do this, don't let this be your main force. I don't think you would, but if you're just learning card magic and this is the first force you know or have learned by chance, by some weird chance, don't lean on this one. Get the books I talked about and learn some other stuff, because you don't want to do this over and over. This is good for one trick. Do this with this trick, or maybe if you like it, do it with another trick that fits. But don't do it a bunch, because you're gonna get caught. It's not that slick, but it really is though. It's really pretty slick. So anyway, I think I said it before in the video. I don't know. Thanks again to Sean Farquhar, and thanks to everybody for watching. And I hope you come back and join us next time. And I hope you are able to get some mileage out of this little trick that I came up with. This little variation of an age-old classic of magic. I'm rambling. Have a good night, day, whatever it is, wherever you are. And we'll see you next time. Later.